in a little tent. Oh, and just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. 'Cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will.
Being an American to me means benefiting from all the systems that this country has to offer.
Able to follow my dreams and just kind of, have the opportunities that I need to, despite, maybe not growing up in a rich family.
Just standing up for what you believe in, inclusivity.
Expand, grow personally and physically, and be inclusive of everyone around you.
To live in this country and to feel like strong emotions toward the country itself, I think.
Taking pride in who you are and having freedom in your choices.
Being able to have my own opinions and being unafraid to share them without criticism and with the rest of the world.
So I'd say the baseline would be simply living in America or having lived in America. Being able to call people relatives close to you Americans would qualify you yourself as an American.
Embracing, all the diverse cultures in the world and just being, an accepting person.
What does it mean to be American? Do you need to be born in the United States? Must you follow the Constitution to a T? Are you supposed to be a quintessential example of the American dream? History seems to disagree with itself about what a true American is. And one of the earliest examples of this is during the Civil War. The Civil War, one of the bloodiest conflicts in United States history, was a confrontation between the Union North and Confederate South, stretching from 1861 to 1865 over how to run America. The Union, led by 16th President Abraham Lincoln, wanted to reunify the states under the idea of abolishing slavery, hence the name Union. The Confederates in the South, in contrast, wanted to go independent and keep things the way they were, slavery and all.
Okay, well, I want to be extremely clear in that the Civil War was unambiguously 100% about slavery. From the North's perspective, their opposition to slavery or the spreading of slavery wasn't necessarily 100% moral. It was also self-interest. Certainly there was northern laborers that didn't want to compete with slaves and free labor of slavery. But there were also many who were abolitionists who believed it was morally evil. The Civil War was an argument about whether Black Americans were considered Americans or considered property. And that was the essential dividing line between the North and the South.
The existence of slavery is based on economic need. You want a low-cost source of labor, generally. And there's costs associated with having slaves. To some extent, you need to feed them and house them and clothe them and care for their injuries and diseases and so forth. But they are lower cost than other forms of labor in most cases. The model of very, very cheap slave labor makes sense where you have businesses and so forth that can use that kind of labor. So plantations in the South largely is where that's happening. In the North, the slave role is not the same. So there's less need economically for slaves in the North. So in the North, the Northerners didn't have the same conflict the Southerners did. In the South, you have my economic benefit versus the morality of the situation. The North doesn't have the economic benefit, so they're in a sense free to be moral. Now, should the Southerners have been moral anyway? Of course. But that's kind of easy for me to say, because I'm not weighing my economic self-interest.
The two sides had different ideas of who should be considered American. The Union believed the slaves should be liberated and integrated into a completed United States, while the Confederates proposed the continuation of slavery in their own separate Southern society. Despite their efforts, the Union won the Civil War, bringing over 4 million slaves in the states. Though they were free, black people still didn't have the same rights and opportunities as other Americans, and they couldn't have even gotten to that point without the abolitionist movement. While the first organized abolitionist campaign was created around 1830, the idea of freedom for the enslaved was going on long before. Iconic abolitionist figures such as Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman were instrumental in the freedom of the slaves. They wrote countless novels, gave several speeches, and organized many events to draw attention to the injustice of slavery. The goal of abolitionism was to put an end to slave ownership, for these activists saw enslaved people as they truly were, American people. But at the time, there was just too much of a majority of Americans that didn't see slaves as equals and saw the ownership of slaves as an American right.
And then once you feel this need to perpetuate an economic situation like that, your brain and your culture is going to do all kinds of wild stuff to justify it and rationalize it. Well, they're not people. Okay. Well, they're people, but they're less than. Okay. They're 3/5 of a person. Whatever it is, right? They're not people like us. You got to make them other.
After the events of the Civil War and effort of the abolitionists, slavery was eradicated in the United States. Yet, black people still weren't equal to the rest of America, which is why they needed one more push to cement themselves as true Americans with a little help from a man with a dream. MLK.
So even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
In the early 1960s, civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. was traversing the country, presenting his ideas of ending segregation, prejudice, and racism across the United States. He wanted to convince the rest of the United States, and the rest of the world to an extent, that black people were people, and that they deserved the human rights given to the rest of America. During an Alabama campaign in 1963, King was arrested and sent to Birmingham jail. While he was only there for 8 days, he was able to create one of the most influential documents of the civil rights era, his adequately named Letter from Birmingham Jail. Within the letter, King proposed that no matter their color, race, or character, it was all people's responsibility as American citizens to oppose injustice instead of indefinitely waiting for some higher power to make a change. He explained that racial segregation was a fight for the streets, not just the courtroom. King's letter emphasizes the continuous oppression of people of color in America, but also mentions that there is still hope for a change in society. Because King knew that, like the Americans he proposed that they were, black people could achieve the rights they strived to have. King had his dream for how he wanted America to be. He was very hopeful that people could change the system and have equality across the country. He believed that no matter a person's race, nationality, class, or gender, anyone could do anything if they worked hard enough. The The idea of whether pursuing the American dream makes one American has been disputed for a long time. Many see it as more harmful than helpful, claiming it creates competitive toxicity in American society for jobs and resources, and that it's an unrealistic expectation. The 1925 novel and later adapted film The Great Gatsby gives an especially negative take on the American dream, as the main character, Nick Carraway, believes the American dream is dead, while the successful Jay Gatsby believes it still has steam.
Carraway comes from money, we forget that, but he actually is kind of old money too. But he kind of wants to make it on his own, right? He travels to New York, he wants to be a stockbroker at a time when the stock market is bustling. I think his dream is to get a slice of that American financial pie on his own terms, his own way, and to make it the way this new money class is. He wants that kind of rags to riches story, but we just forget. It's really, for Nick Carraway, it's not really rags to riches, it's like kind of wealthy to wanting to be super wealthy.
Both men want to succeed, though Gatsby is willing to break the law to get to the top, and Carraway would rather stay inside the lines. Their ambition to want to be the most successful person drives them to do anything to get ahead. That same ambition is a major reason why so many people want to come to the United States. The United States had a reputation of being a land of opportunity and a place where anyone can make it big. That American dream is why so many people want to immigrate to America. The promise of better living conditions, higher pay, and citizenship makes the United States a very attractive place to live. But are American immigrants truly Americans? Does citizenship define them as Americans, or do they need to be born here originally? Many people in the United States have varying opinions on whether immigrants are considered Americans, though some immigrants, despite being American citizens, still more so identify with their history, heritage, and home, and sometimes when they come to the United States, some of that identity is lost.
I think there's a false belief that to be an American or a patriot, you have to wave the flag and not question the leaders of your country. And I think that is a gargantuan mistake.
First image that comes to mind to be an American, I feel like I'm in a mosh pit. And it's pretty much like crowd surfing the whole time, where who can stay on top. And it doesn't matter who you step on to stay afloat.
Homegoing, written in 2016 by Yaa Gyasi, is a historical fiction novel that dives into the dark history of oppression and discrimination of African Americans, not only in America, but also in Africa. The book highlights how different generations had to deal with discrimination and brings a great deal of attention to what black people had to deal with in America from the 1700s to now.
Yaa Gyasi does, I think, a masterful job of giving us a wide range of African American characters who are complex and different, and they're not all defined by their victimhood or historical trauma. They're people who get to marry people they want in many chapters. They're intellectuals, they're complex, they make hard decisions. So the book does give us discrimination, but it gives us this history in a way that presents us with characters that kind of break the idea of the single story, which we've probably studied this year too.
I'm never, ever going to be seen as an American. I'll always be seen as an Asian American. And that's just a hard and fast classification of how our society views our citizens. So you would think that if you have the same passport, and you pay the same taxes, you're on equal footing. You know, justice and liberty for all, right? Is it? I don't know.
The characters in the latter half of the story aren't treated as they should be as Americans. Like H, a man forced into a deadly coal mine over a biased trial, Willie, a woman who can't get a stable job because of her skin color, or Marjorie, a girl who's taken away from her white boyfriend because her school sees her interracial relationship with him as unfit. Despite being in America, they don't feel as though they were being treated as Americans. So, what does it mean to be American? Well, there isn't one true answer. In the past, it meant being independent of your government or having the right to own slaves. At other points, it was a long list of human rights, and later it could be as simple as being a citizen. The real question isn't what it means to be an American, because we are constantly growing and changing as a people and as a society. What I will ask you is this: what will it mean to be an American?